Engage front-wheel drive 66 kilowatt hour battery version just doesn't DC fast charge that quickly. Hey, this is Peter from Lectrium, and today, and really all this weekend, we will be testing a Nissan Ariya EV on a road trip from New York to DC, and we have a really cool kind of use case where we're actually dropping off this awesome Magdalena Paz painting, which my fiance Romi recently helped sell, to the collector, and we need to wrap it, fit it in the trunk of the Ariya, put seats down, and I believe it's the short-range version of the Ariya, so we'll have multiple charging stops along the way. So Romi, you want to come and say a couple things about the painting, and then we can wrap it up and be off?
Well, as Peter mentioned, this is a Magdalena Paz painting that she completed in 2021. She just flew in from Berlin. It was actually rolled up in this tube, and she stretched it and put it on the wooden bars about a week ago. So she did all of that recently and then even framed it herself. So thank you, Magdalena Paz, for flying from Berlin to New York to do that.
And what's it called again, the painting?
Reloading some of the data.
Awesome.
It's part of her Madonna in the 21st Century series. It's about women. As I was saying, this is part of the Magdalena Paz Madonna in the 21st Century. It was actually exhibited in a church in Berlin, along with another painting the same size, although landscape orientation. And pretty much it's about not having to abide by the ideal woman idea in society, and that today, in this modern world, ideal woman can mean so many different things. And so when you look at this painting, you're supposed to see yourself as the ideal woman, that there is no perfect answer to that. And yeah, visit the link in the description below, somewhere here, to learn more about Magdalena Paz and her paintings.
Awesome. Thanks, Romi. Done. Move aside. Step aside.
Here she is, all wrapped up.
Just got done charging the Nissan Ariya up to 99% on the full level 2 chargers. Left it for an hour, and it got about exactly 6 kilowatts of electricity. So the flow chargers worked as advertised. And you'll see here the car is at 99%, and it's showing 167 miles of range. And I'm not exactly sure what that is. The car is supposed to have, I believe, 215 miles of range, and it may be because of the past driving history of this car has been with a lot of accelerations or in city driving where it's less efficient. It'll be interesting to see once we actually get on the highway and start this road trip, you know, if it actually is 167 miles of range and or if it's closer to, you know, 200, 215. So we'll keep an eye on that for sure. Gonna go pack up the car and be on our way. You know, we're at 96% right now. Just starting the road trip, getting on the Long Island Expressway, and it's showing only about 160 miles of range. So, you know, clearly the car's factoring in a different drive mode, maybe city driving versus highway driving, or for some reason it's just showing less range than expected. We rented this on Turo, so it's not our vehicle. So really, this is my first time driving it. We're definitely gonna do a charging stop near Philadelphia because we're dropping off this huge painting in the back to our collector. You may have seen us wrapping it in the beginning of the video. We fit it in the Ariya, and yeah, once we drop it off to its new home, we'll stop at probably an Electrify America charger, see the charging curve on this Ariya, and be on our way. Peace. So you've heard of Disney World, you've heard of Universal. I think Disney World has Star Wars Land, Universal has the Harry Potter world, and Midtown Manhattan also has the Harry Potter world. And we're in the Nissan Ariya Engage, which would 100% be a Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff!
No doubt about it. Definitely not a Gryffindor, it's not a hero. Not a Slytherin, because it's not awful. Ravenclaw, argument could be made for Ravenclaw. But anyways, here we are in the busiest intersection in America. Navigating in a silent EV, passing these NYPD gas cop cars like it's nothing. Pretty cool Foot Locker Sephora combo for the guys and girls. What else we got here? Let's see. Some New York souvenirs. Probably one of the coolest 7-Elevens I've ever seen. Yeah, and a whole lot of people. That's it. I just wanted to talk about Harry Potter World. Like and subscribe to Lectrium for more EV charging and EV road tripping content. We're here by Newark Airport, next to a huge shipping port. Probably going to be getting a lot of action these next couple months. And it's always interesting looking at this port because it's just these massive cranes. And the reason New York City became such a big city, I believe, is because of our deep water port. And this is likely the beneficiary of those really deep waters, so the huge ships can dock. I think there's only 3 like mega deep water ports on the east coast of the United States, and I think this is one of the 3. Don't quote me on that, I need to look it up after, but we'll get the right answer in the comments. We're here in Wilmington, Delaware, at the Electrify America charging station at Wawa. And as you can see, there is a charging line. It's 7 p.m. Friday night. We're trying to get down to Arlington. And if you turn the camera, you can see an ID4. I believe that's an I4 or I5. Some Mercedes EQBs or EQEs and a Polestar 2. I may have gotten a couple of those models wrong, so forgive me. But yeah, there's also a Lexus RZ, right? Waiting in line. Double check that real quick. Okay, ready? So this is the CCS combined charging standard plug, different from the Tesla NACS plug. This is standard on every non-Tesla EV right now, and it's what Electrify America has. So let's plug it in. Let's initiate charging with my Electrify America Pass. And now let's see how many kilowatts the Ariya pulls. It's at around 25-26%, and I know it doesn't have super high battery voltage, so I'm not expecting it to charge extremely quickly, but I am excited to see what it does charge at. Alright, and we're off. So we're ramping up here, you can come a little closer. Yeah, we're at 26% state of charge. Let's see if it gets into the 150s, 140s, 130s would be my guess. Maybe a little bit worse. One thing that's important to note is I didn't do any battery preconditioning with this car. It's my first day ever having it. We rented it on the road, so I don't recondition the battery. That could be possible to allow it to charge faster earlier in the DC fast charging session. If anyone knows how to do that in an Ariya, let me know, and we can make sure to charge even faster on the way back. It's a completely empty parking lot, but Electrify America is super busy. There are 5 EVs charging at EA. We are the Nissan Ariya. We're at about 9% state of charge, and we're going to measure the charging curve a little bit on this Nissan Ariya and see how many kilowatts it can pull from a 350 kilowatt DC fast charger. Now, of course, we don't expect it to pull anywhere near 350 kilowatts, but we will still monitor what it gets up to and have a little fun while doing it. Thanks. We're at 9% state of charge in the Nissan Ariya Engage, 66 kilowatt hour battery version. I believe it's 63 kilowatt hours of usable battery. And we're at EA 350 kilowatt hyper fast charger. We're going to see the charging curve on this bad boy. Let's see what it can do. Let me plug it in. I'll initiate the charging session real quick with my EA Apple Wallet Pass. Let's see. The Nissan Ariya Engage it's been a fun car to drive so far. We've rented it on Turo, and at first I was a little bit worried about its range. It says 215 miles of stated range, but when we got in the car and charged it to 99 or 100% before the road trip, it said much less. However, it's been under-promising and over-delivering a little bit, so I'm pretty happy with the Engage trim so far. It's front-wheel drive. There are trims with higher range. Let me just make it start real quick. Okay, and we're off. Yeah, so, you know, it says 30-ish minutes until 80%. We may go a little bit above 80 because we're going to be road tripping tonight or tomorrow morning. And if you hand me the camera real quick, I'll see how many kilowatts you can pull. Oh nice, we're up to 90 kilowatts, so better than the first charging session we had on the in Wilmington, Delaware. So this is more impressive, more kind of in line with what I was hoping for. Not sure if you can see that at all. Seems like you probably can't. Oh, there we go. So we're right at 11% state of charge, and we're gonna take a look at the charging curve, and we'll probably speed this up if our video team can do that. And I'm just gonna hold it here for a few minutes so you can see how many kilowatts it's pulling. Now, one of the questions we've been trying to answer in this video is the Nissan Ariya Engage a road tripper? The answer is mixed. It actually performed really well on the highway in terms of efficiency. It kind of surprised me with how much range we had after going a certain amount of miles, but the charging performance is not that impressive on a DC fast charger. Again, we're at a 350 kilowatt Electrify America station, and the Nissan Ariya, in the 2 times that I've charged it on a DC fast charger, it's gotten really a max of around 80 kilowatts. It's hovering around 76, 77 kilowatts, compared to, you know, some other EVs out there right now that can charge from 10 to 80% in like 15, 18 minutes. This is going to take longer, you know, more like 30 or 40 minutes to fully charge. You know, it's not going to be the fastest car to road trip in. It's definitely doable. You know, you'll need an extra charging stop here or there because of the small 66 kilowatt hour battery. And when you do take a charging stop, it'll take a little bit longer since it doesn't pull that many kilowatts due to its relatively low you know, voltage of its battery architecture. With that said, it's a comfortable car to drive, and we're enjoying it and having fun driving it. But if you're doing, you know, coast to coast, or, you know, driving from the Midwest down to Florida, it's going to take a significantly longer time in this level of this car. There are higher level trims that have bigger battery sizes and which may have better charging performance. We need to kind of dive into that a little bit more, check the comments. But long story short, Not the best road tripping EV. It's really great for daily driving around your town, charge it at home at night, get a charger installed by Lectrium in your garage or the side of your house. But expect to spend a little bit more time than you probably like if you're going to be road tripping in the Nissan Ariya Engage. Thanks. We're coming back from Arlington, Virginia to Brooklyn, New York, stopping at the exact same Wilmington, Delaware Electrify America DC fast charging station. And we're going to try for a third time to charge the Nissan Ariya Engage. A little bit of allergies out here. As mentioned, this is our third DC fast charging session. The first two sessions, the Ariya Engage charging curve got up to around a max of 80 kilowatts. Right now we're at about 22% state of charge. Gonna get up to probably around 80. I'm not expecting much more than 75 to 80 kilowatts. We'll keep an eye on it now and see, but I guess this trim of the Ariya, the Engage front wheel drive 66 kilowatt hour battery version, just doesn't DC fast charge that quickly. Something to keep in mind if you want it to be a road tripper. It's been so-so. But yeah, let's take a look right here. I'll let you grab this real quick. Up to 76, 77. Yep, it hits 80 and then it tops off. Yep, pretty much exactly what I expected. It's a third time it's done this, so it seems pretty consistent. 75, 74 kilowatts. It'll probably hang around that level until it reaches full charge, or 80% at least. TLDR on the 500-mile road trip with the Nissan Ariya Engage from Brooklyn, New York to Washington, D.C. and back this past weekend. TLDR, the road trip went really smoothly. At first I was a bit scared after renting this car on Turo because I charged it up to 99, 100%, and the range guessometer on the Nissan Ariya said 167 or 169 miles of range. Obviously that's lower than this car is expected to get. It has a stated 215 miles of range. So at the start of the road trip I was a bit nervous. However, we've come to the conclusion that that was likely due to the type of driving this car has undergone. We rented it in Brooklyn, New York. It's likely undergone a lot of city driving, and because of this, the range was likely showing lower than what we got on the highway when we were road tripping. The Nissan Ariya Engage also fit a huge painting in the trunk, which was a great, we rented it for that purpose, and it did its job well and transported the painting safely to a collector's house, and got the job done, which was a really important part of the road trip. One thing that was a bit not perfect with the Nissan Ariya Engage from a road tripping perspective is the charging curve. This car has a relatively small battery. It's 66 kilowatt hours, 63 kilowatt hours usable, and its charging curve was slow. What that means is it never got above 70 to 80 kilowatts, even when charging on a 350 kilowatt Electrify America charging station, which was a bit disappointing and added just a bit of time to our road trip. We made 4 charging stops, one in Brooklyn on a level 2 charger, totally fine. One in Wilmington, Delaware on an Electrify America 350 kilowatt charger. Also went smoothly, just took a bit longer than it would on, say, a Hyundai Ioniq 5 or a Kia EV6. We charged back up when we were in Arlington, Virginia, again on EA, and then again in Wilmington, Delaware on the way back. We did not have a chance to use the EVgo plug and charge experience, which I would have liked to try out and would recommend for people who are buying a Nissan Ariya to make sure they understand how they can use the benefits of 1 year free charging and also the plug and charge components of that, so you don't have to swipe any card or tap any RFID. But overall, the road trip went smooth, the car performed well, the interior was comfortable, the trunk was spacious, it got us from point A to point B and back to A, and we had fun while driving. Thanks. Again, this is Peter from Lectrium, and if you are in the market for a Nissan Ariya Engage or any EV, check out Lectrium.com. It's our company's website, and go over to the Buy an EV section. You can really browse EVs here, and you can click See All Cars, and you'll notice over 3,700 EVs and plug-in hybrids for sale. And if you're looking for a Nissan Ariya, you can filter by Nissan, you can click into one of the Arias, and here on Lectrium.com, you can see some awesome information. You can see range, efficiency, battery size, charging times. You can see horsepower, 0 to 60 speed. You can see which home charger you should buy based on the amperage of the charger and the vehicle's onboard charger capability. Also, you can submit lead forms and get contact with the dealership. You can book test drives, check what your financing could look like, understand EV savings, and really we built this to help EV shoppers like you get connected with dealerships that have EV inventory and do that in an online way. So again, check Lectrium.com/listings to explore Nissan Arias and other EVs and plug-in hybrids for sale near you. Thanks.